today I'm going to show you my clones of the dual DSP quad Cortex, which I did with the Hotone Ampero 2 stage. The Hotone Ampero 2 stage is one of the medium price range modeling units which are able to create really convincing amp clones. And for those of you who are not familiar with that fancy technology, is an amp clone is basically what the Kemper profiler is doing and calling profiles. So you're using, or you're taking your existing piece of gear, analog gear or other modeling unit, and then send some weird signals through it and record the result, and then with some magic the unit, in this case the Hotone Ampero 2 stage, is computing an amp model that sounds more or less exactly like the one which you are using as a source. And as my current favorite tone is the one which I dialed in on my quad Cortex, which is also a clone which I did with the quad Cortex off of my Boss GE300. And well, I did this or tried to replicate that in the Hotone Ampero 2 stage, and today I would like to show you the results. So I wouldn't compare it side by side with the quad Cortex, but believe me, they sound pretty close, and I'm really happy. So here's the editor, and in the intro I was playing one sound which is my Vox sound, the quad Cortex, which I at least call the Vox sound. And as you can see here, it's just a gate, and then the clone and the delay. And in the clone section, I imported the result of the cloning process. So I will not show you the cloning process, but I did it with this unit, and the resulting clone is can be imported here, the clone section. Everything's stock except the volume. And very dynamic as the original. And of course you can use more gain. Okay, but maybe you're here for the high gains, so my main high gain tone in the quad Cortex has also been profiled. It's this one. So this is the widener effect. I'm using the 2290 in this unit, but just for a mono lead tone, a stereo lead tone, but without the widener effect. And I dialed back the bass a little bit because it seemed to be a little bit more bass heavy than the original. But that can't be the case because I was cutting off the bass, and usually when you're profiling amps, maybe there's some signals or added, at least from my experience, in the lower frequency range if you cut too much of these. But other than that, it sounds really close. And also, I didn't change the gain, so of course you can add more gain or reduce the gain, and you don't need a drive pedal here. So you have also working as a crunch tone. Let's see how far we can get. Reduce the gain. Nice light crunch tone. Can imagine it sounds nice with the chorus. Maybe let's add some flanger. By the way, the effects quality in that unit is really good. And I did another clone of my JCM800 tone. This is a little bit quiet. So let's see. Okay, I changed the clone. Sorry, let me change the preset here. Credit of preset. Hope you can hear it. There's a little bit huge low mid frequency range, and then this kind of 3K JCM800 crunch. And of course, to me it sounds pretty much like JCM800. I did some other presets with the built-in JCM800 model here, for example. So by the way, this is from my preset pack, which is available if you contact me on Facebook or Instagram, as all the other preset packs for the other model units on the market, except the Helix, which I don't own. And this is using the, as I said, it's using the built-in amp model, which is not that power consuming like the clone. And of course it's using the built-in cab model, which does a lot to the tone. Anyway, so let's see what we can do here if we crank the gain a little bit more. Okay, I dialed back the mids. By the way, in the quad Cortex, where I originally profiled these sounds with, when I created the profiles with the quad Cortex, I was using I think the Boss GT-1000 as a source, and there I was boosting the amp model. So what you're hearing is basically the boosted amp model. If it's too much trouble for you, dial this back. It may sound a little bit mid-heavy if you are hearing it through studio monitors, but for live usage it would work better if it's more mid-heavy. So my tones are more or less originated in live usage, or maybe to be used at louder volumes. So it sounds really, really good in my ears. I did some good results using the built-in amp models and the preset pack. I was always happy with that, but I couldn't get the exact same tone like with the quad Cortex as I have now. Nice rock lead tone. If you're wondering what the other clones here are, these are some NAM files which I downloaded, and I introduced these in another video, but maybe we can compare it. I think I did it here. Create a preset with the download JSON file. That is the built-in cap model. And I think, if you ask me, this amp will work in a live situation very well. The only thing which is maybe depending on your guitar or your environment, a little bit annoying sometimes are the lower mids. And if you would like to dial these out, I'd recommend to look in the... here you can see that it's too power consuming for the usage of a graphic EQ. Okay, it's, I think, in the maybe 300 Hertz range, so I'd recommend to look there, but unfortunately I could not apply graphic EQ here. Maybe we can try that. So there it is. These are my main amp clones which I use in the Quad Cortex, and fortunately now I have them in the Hotone Ampero 2 stage. I think I will incorporate these in the next release of my preset pack as an addition, and give you the best settings, at least in my ears. Other than that, of course, you can always contact me if you would like to get my preset packs, and leave your comments below. Subscribe to my channel. Adios.